Welcome to episode 4, season 1 of The Orange Juice, the podcast where we unpack the people, the stories and the events shaping Orange, New South Wales. I'm really chuffed to have a dear friend of mine and a supporter of the podcast, Mr. Josh Fitzgerald, with us. Morning, Josh.
Good morning, Kyle. How are you?
I am well.
Thank you for having me on board.
Thank you for being on board. And, thanks to you and Quest and Bite Riot Orchards, we have this podcast. And I want to say straight up, not just about the podcast, but what a great supporter of the community you are. I know you don't like to be thrust into the limelight like that, but you're not just a local real estate agent. You're born and bred here. You went to Orange High. Yep. You give a lot back, Josh, and we're grateful, and I think a lot of people are. Why do you give back?
Well, a couple of reasons. It's definitely not for the accolades, that's for sure. I think growing up in this town, I'm really grateful to have had the opportunities that I had. And you'll probably notice we give back to a lot of kids' sporting groups and stuff like that. Kids are the future. Without the kids, we have nothing. So for me, it was just being able to do that. We're in a position where we can support different organisations. And I think that's what you sort of get into business for, is to be able to, obviously, real estate for us, it's been good for the last, 6-7 years. But also being able to then give back to the community is something it makes me feel good to do that. So, it's been good.
Well, a lot of people appreciate it. And
it's good to know.
We're going to jump right into the McGrath Minute.
Okay.
I'm sorry you don't like the limelight, but we've named this segment the McGrath Minute, so we have to call it the McGrath Minute. And it might go for a little longer than a minute.
Okay.
But, Orange has become, I reckon it's become as much a coffee town as a wine town. So we've thrown in there coffee or wine.
I like both, but I probably have a coffee more often, so I'm going to say coffee.
Probably a good choice for the body.
Yeah.
Actually, that's probably still up for debate.
I don't know. Look, they're both good. They both have their uses.
And look, on that same vein, this is a hard one for everyone because we are so spoilt for choice here in Orange. Yeah. But your favourite local eatery or your favourite one at the moment?
I've got a couple. I really love Hey Rosie. I think it's a fantastic little joint.
Isn't it
Great
cool?
Vibe, good food, good wine. Raku.
Yeah.
And they've just opened their little grab and go, which I think is fantastic.
It's going gangbusters. I'm going to wait for the queue to die down to try it.
Yeah, I was there yesterday, so pretty good. And Mr. Sushi King. So, yeah.
Excellent. Couple of Japanese in there. That's nice.
I do have Asian descent in my waters. So.
Do you really?
Yeah.
There you go. First thing we found out about Josh, straight up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there you go. Between that, Irish, and somewhere else in Europe there somewhere, but yeah.
Fantastic. How about your local hero?
There's so many people, but I actually went to an organisation, Boys to the Bush. They started back in 2017, I believe by 3 teachers who were seeing a bit of a disconnect with young teenage men. And maybe they just weren't getting the right, advice or having a male role model in their life. And these guys have got together and started this great organisation. They're already in Bathurst, but they found a huge need here in Orange. Jack and I actually just did a bit of a run through Heifer Station Winery the other week to support this great cause.
In your jocks?
Yeah, in our budgies.
You can't unsee that, but
no, I know, and I was reminded of it yesterday.
You looked a bit fitter than Scotty Peterson, just quietly. If I'm observing,
Scotty didn't run,
sideline.
so that would have been easy.
He did the promo, though. Didn't he? Yeah.
I had Jack to compete with.
Okay, well, he's pretty ripped.
He is. But yeah, look, it's a great organisation, and they're just kicking off here in Orange. They've secured a site here in McLaughlin Street next to Fresh Fodder.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I think they're doing great things at the moment.
How good is that? I mean, boys' mental health,
yeah,
leading to men's mental health.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my birds in the bush beanie,
yeah,
as usual, and domestic violence, where this stuff all comes from,
yeah,
in our society, I think, is from those male role models that we really need as kids to guide us into the light, right?
Yeah, definitely, and that's what they're all about, and I think that's why we were so happy to be a part of that day, and hopefully the rest of the town gets behind it too. So yeah.
That's a really good choice. They're doing amazing things.
Yep.
If you could pin it down, what's your favourite Orange memory?
Orange is a beautiful town. For me, it's family. My family's been here like forever. They're all born here. So that's what brings me back every time. It's just the family that we have here.
It's a tourist town, Orange. We know that. But,
It is.
But you're a born and bred local. What's your favourite thing to do as a local when you take the tourist hat off?
There's two things I love doing, and it's fishing and playing golf. And so we've been so spoilt here. We had 3 golf courses, which is fantastic for a regional town, but we now have 2 fantastic golf courses. And so, yeah, you're not going to get much better than what we have here in Orange. I play quite a few, and I still think Wentworth and Duntry are great golf courses together. You don't have to go far to get a good game. So, yeah, golf for sure.
Yeah, and we do have 2 beautiful courses, and we're very lucky.
Yeah, definitely.
Last question. It's not an Orange question, but what's the last book you read?
I'm not a huge book reader, but the last book I did read was Be Useful by Arnold.
Nice. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and I listened to it also on Audible, and he narrates it.
Oh, well, that would be the way to listen to it.
It actually is.
I mean, I just love Arnie. Did you watch the Netflix doco?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Love or hate that guy. He is self-made 100%. And
Yeah.
I can see why you might read that actually, because you're pretty much self-made 100%. You didn't grow up wealthy. You went to Orange High, and now you're an influential businessman in the town. So that's probably a good role model for you, someone like Arnold.
Yeah, no, look, his principles on how to succeed, I think, are great. He's obviously got parts of his life that haven't been fantastic, but he also talks about how he got through that. But no, the book was interesting, and I took quite a bit out of it, to be honest. So yeah,
excellent. I'll put it on the list.
you should.
Well, let's dive into a little bit more about Josh Fitzgerald, the person. A lot of people might know you as a real estate agent right now in 2025. I personally have bought a house from you, sold a house with you, rented a house from you, and been a landlord. Yeah. So you guys do get around. But beneath the real estate agent, you're a born and bred Orange local who went to Orange High School. Your first job was at the BP opposite Orange High School, which has now been knocked over.
Yep.
You've done some miles in this town. Just tell us what you love about it.
Well, again, when your whole family's here, it makes it easy to love this town. But, we've also grown with the town as well. So growing up, there wasn't as much to do as what there is today. But yeah, I was born here. My parents were born here. Actually went to the same school as my mum. So she was at OPS, and then she was at Orange High School, and I did the same thing.
Fantastic.
And my kids have gone to OPS as well. So it's great seeing them go through the public sector there for primary school, which has been great. Yeah. And then, look, in my 20s, I ended up doing a bricklaying apprenticeship when I left school. And then in my 20s, I did quite a bit. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I tried a few things. Of that was real estate, and also mining as well.
Because you came back to real estate, right?
I did. So I had a bit of a spell. I think in my 20s I was unsettled. I didn't know. I knew what I wanted, but didn't know what I wanted out of life or work or all those kind of things. And I think I was just trying to get ahead and get a house and do all those things I thought I had to do. And whatever got me to that point in life is what I did. I then realised pretty quickly that real estate was it. My dad actually, he was a real estate agent here in town. He started, when he came back from being in Sydney, he came back and got a job with John Cook as a property manager. Fantastic. And then he started with Orange Real Estate.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
you followed in your dad's footsteps.
Well, we talked about it a lot. And at that time I was still bricklaying, and Dad was pushing me into go and be your own business owner, go and be a tradie, do all the things that I wanted to do. I wanted to be a mechanic and never did it. And I kept saying, no, I actually like what you do. I think real estate's pretty cool. Like, I understand it. I get real estate from the ground up. I can probably explain things. that some other agents might not be able to elaborate on. And he was like, "Nah, don't do it."
Okay. He wanted you to go use your hands.
He did.
If you were a Year 12 kid leaving Orange High this year, and my son Will is, would you, whether you're leaving Orange or staying in Orange, what would you do these days? Would you do a trade and use your hands, or would you move down the business route and use your head?
Good question.
Or what do you think we need in Orange?
Look, skilled labour, from what I can see and hear, is dying. And TAFE numbers are incredibly low. For me, moving forward, if every teenager wants to go into a tech space, I think it's highly competitive just with people, but then also with AI. If you want to have, a great career and be busy all the time, I think the one thing that we have in Australia is a housing shortage. And if we're going to have labour shortages as well, what an opportunity. What an opportunity to sink your teeth into something, learn a skill, have it for life, and be useful and be needed. Because I think that's what...
And stay fit.
It's all about. Stay fit, yeah, exactly.
And be outdoors. I think if I had my time over, I'd probably do a trade. And if either of my sons or Sarah's boys wanted to do a trade, we'd be right behind them.
Yeah.
I think it's good for all those reasons you just stated.
Yeah, definitely. And I think because I didn't finish Year 12, I wanted to complete something.
You didn't finish Year 12?
No. And that probably explains a bit because my grammar and everything's not great. But I just thought, I'm not going to get through this. I've got no interest in school. I like science and I like PDHPE, and they were my two best subjects. But the rest of it, I had zero interest.
Okay, yep.
So I thought, right, I'm out. There's no point wasting my time. And so I went and enrolled at TAFE and did my bricklaying apprenticeship.
Well, you touched on PDHPE, which was called PE in my days.
Yeah.
But you're still sporty. You still play basketball. You've played league. You've played union for Emus. You played league for Hawks.
Yep.
Sport in a town like Orange is huge, right? Sometimes it underpins so much about community.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've always had a strong sporting community in Orange. As far as I can remember, even going back to my mum and my dad and my grandparents, Orange has always been a great sporting town, no doubt about it. And not just for league or union, but for basketball and hockey and soccer and all those other sports, AFL. There's a lot of legends out there who have played, high level sport that have come from Orange. So yeah, I play quite a bit. Still play basketball right now, which is good. Don't know how much longer I'll play, but yeah.
You look pretty fit to me.
Thanks.
Here's a segue. Country versus city in sport is quite a thing that's talked about, and you can really see those differences in opportunity.
Yeah.
You need scouts to come out to country areas to find kids, whereas sometimes in the city they just get discovered.
Yeah.
What's the difference in real estate, country versus city? How does a country agent position themselves different to a big city agent?
Yeah,
You're in the McGrath family, and that's a big organisation. John McGrath's a bit of a legend in the industry, and there are offices everywhere from Melbourne, Sydney, and all the capital cities, right out to places like Orange and Mudgee. So what's the difference?
Lots. There's lots of differences. I always say we're pretty lucky in Orange because some of the agents in Sydney are incredible, and they haven't got to where they are because they know everybody in the town. They've got to where they are because they've had a strategy, they've stuck to it, they've worked hard, and they have a great formula. Over time, they've obviously built the rapport in that community, but they've done it in a really highly competitive environment. In Orange and country towns, it can be a little bit easier to gain momentum when you know half the town. So people will go, okay, well, I grew up with Josh. He's been my mate for 40 years. I'm going to go with him. That's
a double-edged sword, though, isn't it? Because sometimes when you work with friends or you have a friend as a client, there's this unwritten double-edged sword there that, you've given me your business or we're working together because we're mates, but now we have to have a professional hat on as well.
And I can tell you now, if there's a time when something's going to go wrong, for me anyway, it'll be when I'm doing business with a friend.
Yep.
And so at times
Murphy's
now,
Law.
it happens all the time. So I actually try and pass it on now to somebody else. to say, look, you're still supporting me, which is great, thank
Yep.
you. But maybe just, list it with Jack or Scott or Tori.
And we've worked together for years. We've been lucky enough to be working with you and doing content for you for almost a decade now.
Yeah.
From our side of the camera, we've seen a hell of a lot of changes. Where do you think this is all going with real estate marketing? I mean, you guys are, and I don't put you in this category just personally, but real estate agents are now some of the most viewed people on the internet. And dare I say, becoming, some of them are becoming rock stars. Where is all the real estate marketing going? What's an opportunity and what's a detractor?
Look, I still have the opinion that the traditional methods will never die. And if you look at the top agents in the country, some of them are becoming rock stars, but the really good ones are just doing the basic things.
Still knock on doors.
Just knocking on doors, making those phone calls, building the relationship. As for marketing a property, what is there left to do? If you think back into the 90s where they used to hand sketch properties, and then I think John McGrath was the first one to do a color-coded one, and then photography came into it and they went from black and white to color, and then someone drew a floor plan. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
To then producing a video, and then the videos have become amazing. They're almost like a
Hollywood production.
Hollywood, yeah, exactly. What is next? I guess there's AI.
I suppose we see where AI takes us. That's
correct. And I think people have been quite fearful of that AI space, but I think the best thing to do is just embrace it and leverage off it. Like everything, things cycle. And I think the AI fad will cycle.
It'll find its place, and I'm excited about real estate marketing. It's an amazing space these days. It's one that we love working in.
Yep.
Oh, that's good. Look, to wrap up, what do you love about your team? You lead a big team. What makes you happy when you lead that team?
We've got a great team. We've got so many different personalities. And I think that's what we love about the team that we have. But at the end of the day, there's not a person that I work with that I wouldn't have at my house or go out for dinner or have a coffee. And I think everyone else can say the same thing. And in a team of 28, that's pretty rare.
And maybe that is another really nice country city thing. That's something you probably really find.
The feedback we get across the network is that country offices are completely different or very different to metro, and they don't really interact. Look, some do, but probably not as close or tight-knit as the regional offices. So, yeah.
Bite Riot Orchards is proudly owned by the Hall family, third-generation growers here in Orange. From crisp, juicy apples to the sweetest summer cherries, Bite Riot produce isn't just enjoyed locally. It's exported across the world and featured in leading supermarkets like Harris Farm Markets. It's more than just fruit, it's family innovation and a commitment to showcasing the best growers from the Orange region. Bite Riot, proudly grown in Orange, shared with the world.
Part of our podcast is, of course, a weekly What's On. And as you very well know, growing up here in Orange, there's always so much on in Orange. We try to find a few little things that are just a little different. So this week, for example, today, are you aware of the TAFE thrift sale that happens at TAFE?
I wasn't until we talked about it earlier.
This is really cool. TAFE Orange raised money to support Plus community homelessness services through a thrift sale. And it's on today. You can go down to TAFE and buy stuff in a thrift sale that goes towards homelessness. And I mean, homelessness is just horrible in Australia. I'm ashamed that we have it. But
it's getting worse.
Orange is not a great place to be homeless in winter, I would imagine. And anything we can do in that space to help is amazing. So go and get yourself a bargain from the TAFE thrift sale.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
On Wednesday at the Vic Hotel, we've got The Mix, which is an industry mixer for musicians and music industry people. Sophie Jones from Music New South Wales is sort of heading that one up. And that's, as you know, I was in the music industry a long time, and it's not something where we often network. We're very rarely together. So, you know, the Vic's a great pub. Probably had a few big nights there when you left Orange High in Year 12.
When I was younger, I did, yes.
That's right. Well, it's still there. Good. Still grab a beer.
I've been there recently.
But yeah, the industry mixer down at the Vic is a great thing. We've got the Handpick Band playing out at the Canobblis Dance Hall on Thursday doing Powderfinger and Coldplay. That one's been an absolute sellout. I know you love live music.
I do.
And we're a good town for live music, right?
Yeah, we are. And I think you've helped bring that to the town, Kyle. I can still remember going to one of the first ones out at the Agrestic.
Yeah, out at the Rubies.
Yeah,
Oh,
fantastic.
look, we've just got such a good community here. It's been a pleasure to be part of it.
Yep.
A really, really important one, and one that you'll identify with, a friend of the podcast, Renee Markwick, along with the team at Phillip Shaw, Ash Browning out there. They're doing a breast long lunch on Saturday to raise money for the McGrath Foundation. You're, of course, a cancer survivor, Josh.
Yeah, look, definitely not as bad as some, and I always say I'm lucky. And I had tongue cancer back in 11 years ago now. Oh, longer, 13 years ago. So
Mate, it's very humble of you to even say not as bad as some. No one wants that word associated with their diagnosis. So
no,
it's pretty brave to even make it through that. So
yeah, and it was a tough time too. Megan was pregnant with our first child, so we had a lot going on, but we got there.
So let's support the breast long lunch.
Absolutely.
There are a number of people giving up their time for free for this one, including my dear mate Kath Adams. She was top 10 on The Voice quite a few years back, but she's singing for free. We've got a lot of people donating their time and energy to this just to raise money for McGrath, which is, of course, an amazing charity.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a great one.
On Thursday, Kinross School are putting on a production at Orange Civic Theatre called Sally Sells Seashells.
Yeah.
And it's great to see the local schools. You've got Ollie at Kinross now.
I do, yes. He's loving it, actually. His school and academic side of things has really improved, so that's great to see.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's Thursday. I don't know if it's sold out or not, but great to see Kinross doing that.
Yep.
Also, every Saturday behind Bill's Beans, there's an East Orange Producers Market. Now, I didn't know about this.
I had no idea too.
I feel ashamed that I don't, but people tell me it's great.
Yeah.
So Saturday, East Orange Producers Market behind Bill's Beans.
Yeah, perfect.
As usual, so much to do in Orange, Josh. Like we are spoilt for choice here, aren't we?
We are, and you asked me earlier, what brings me back? Well, it's all these great things that are on every week, and you can't be bored in Orange.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Josh. It's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Thank you for supporting the podcast, but thanks for being here and giving us an insight into you and what you do in Orange.
It's been a pleasure, Kyle. Thank you for having me on. I think this is a great idea and concept that you come up with, and very happy to be a part of it.
So for all of you community groups, schools, businesses, and any other organisation that thinks it has a piece of newsworthy news for the Orange Juice, send us an email, news@theorangejuice.com.au. Cheers.